Smoke rose from the broken walls of the colony on Ceres 4. A once quiet outpost now drowning in chaos, fire, and screams. The sky had turned red with ash, and ships burned like falling stars. Sergeant Aaron Vale moved fast through the wreckage. Weapon ready, eyes sharp. He wasn't there to fight, at least not this time. He had one job: extract 2 civilians marked as high-value assets before the enemy arrived. His boots crunched glass as he entered the old central dome. Everything inside was quiet. Too quiet for a war zone. The air was thick. Not just with smoke, but something heavier. It felt like the silence was waiting for him to do something wrong. Then a whisper echoed in the corner of the room. A girl barely in her teens stood half hidden behind an old pillar. She didn't look scared, just tired and alert, like she had seen too much too fast. "You're late," she said calmly. Aaron lowered his rifle slightly, confused. "You're the contact?" She nodded, stepping forward slowly. "My name is Alra. I was told you'd come for me." He glanced at the datapad strapped to his wrist. Her face matched the file, but the document also mentioned a second person. "Where's your mother?" he asked. The girl's lips trembled, just for a second. "She's alive." "But I don't think you came just for me." A loud metallic shriek came from outside. Something heavy and alien scraping against the dome. Aaron pulled Alra close and moved into cover. Above them, the outer hull of the dome flexed and groaned. The enemy was here, Korak soldiers. 10-foot beasts with armor that looked grown, not made. Aaron knew he had only minutes before they broke in. "This place is about to be a battlefield," he said, eyes scanning the roof. "We need to find your mother and get out fast." But Alra shook her head. "No, you don't understand," she whispered. "She's not hiding. She's waiting." Aaron led the way through cracked hallways lit by flickering blue emergency lights. Alra followed without fear, guiding him deeper into the old research lab. The halls became darker, colder. Strange symbols had been carved into the walls, symbols not found in any Terran database. He didn't like this. "Your mother, what is she?" Alra stopped walking. "She's trained, strong, and not like other people," she said. "She served before when the Empire needed monsters." Aaron froze. "Wait, the Black Circle program?" That name was a ghost, an old Terran experiment to create psychic warriors during the Silent War. It was shut down because the results were unstable. Most of the subjects vanished or turned against their handlers. She was one of them, Alra said, her voice filled with pride and something else, fear. Maybe sorrow. Aaron exhaled slowly. He had signed up for a rescue, not to meet a living weapon. They reached the lowest level, a sealed room glowing with deep red light. In the center stood a woman in silver armor, her face calm, her eyes burning with cold blue light. "Aaron Vale," she said without moving. "You came for my daughter." He stepped forward, keeping his weapon low but ready. "Yes, we need to leave now." But the woman didn't move. "I won't leave this place," she said. "I've seen what follows her. It's not just the Korak. Something else is hunting her. Something older." Alra stepped between them and turned to Aaron. "You can't protect me," she said. "But she can." She looked at her mother, then back at him. "Take her instead. She's the one who can stand against what's coming." Aaron stared at the girl, shocked. "I'm not leaving you behind." But Alra's eyes didn't waver. "You don't understand. I'm not meant to be protected. I'm meant to trigger something. A change. A war." Behind them, the walls shuddered as something massive began tearing through the dome. Aaron knew he had no time to think, only to choose: run with the girl, the target he was ordered to rescue, or trust her and take the mother, a warrior with a dark past and a power he didn't understand. The woman raised her hand, and for a second, everything stopped. Even the rumble outside froze in midair, like the whole world had held its breath. "You only get one chance to make the right choice," she said. Aaron's pulse slowed, his vision blurred, and in the stillness, He realized this mission had never been about saving lives. It was about preparing for what was coming next, and someone, somewhere, had known that he would have to choose the monster over the child. Asterisk. The world snapped back into motion. The metal above them screamed as it bent under pressure. Something huge was trying to break through. Aaron didn't speak. He only nodded. He had made his choice. He grabbed the woman's arm, surprised by how warm her skin was despite her armor being cold. Like steel. "Let's go," he said. She didn't answer, just turned her head slightly, listening. Then she moved, not like a soldier, but like something fluid, fast, dangerous. Her name wasn't in the file, but the girl had called her Mira as they climbed the stairs. Aura stayed behind. Aaron looked back at her. "You're sure about this?" She gave a small smile. "I was born for this, remember?" He didn't like leaving a child behind, but something deep inside told him she wasn't just a child. Not anymore. They reached the surface just as the wall exploded. A beast 3 times the size of a man entered, covered in natural armor that shimmered with green light. Aaron raised his gun, but Mira raised only her hand, with a blink. The air around the creature twisted. It stopped, roared in pain, and collapsed. Its eyes turned glassy. "Dead." Aaron stared at her. "What did you just do?" She didn't answer. Instead, she looked at the stars above. "They're watching," she whispered. "We need to leave before they send more." They reached his shuttle, parked half a kilometer from the dome, hidden between broken rocks and dead trees. He entered the launch codes. The engines began to warm. Mira stood outside, scanning the sky like she could see things he couldn't. Once inside, Aaron strapped himself in and turned to her. "You're coming with me, but I need to know why. Did your daughter offer you instead of herself?" Mira sat down slowly, folding her hands. "Because she's marked by something that wants her body, but not her mind." "What does that mean?" "She was born with a signal. A signature. Something ancient has been waiting to wear her like a mask." Aaron felt cold. "You're saying something alien wants to use her like a suit?" "Yes," she replied. "And I'm the only one who can stop it. Because I was built for war with those things." The engines roared and the ship lifted, shaking the dust. From the ground, he pushed the thrusters and the shuttle rose high into the black sky. Down below, the base crumbled, explosions blooming across the ruins. Aura was gone from sight, but Aaron couldn't shake her voice. "Take my mother instead." In orbit, the shuttle entered stealth mode, hiding from enemy sensors. But something else was waiting. A signal blinked on his radar, short, sharp, and coded in symbols he didn't recognize. Mira leaned forward. "It's begun," she said. "What is it?" "The invitation," she whispered. "The first door is opening." Aaron's hands tightened on the controls. He didn't like riddles, and this woman spoke in riddles all the time. But her power wasn't a riddle. He had seen her freeze a living beast. With just a thought, "Where do we go now?" he asked. "Earth? A base? Somewhere safe?" "There is no safety," Mira replied. "But there is understanding, and maybe a weapon." She sent him a new set of coordinates, a system far beyond the border of known human colonies. "That's deep black space," Aaron said, frowning. "No law, no help, and no backup." "Exactly," she replied. "That's where it sleeps. That's where we must go." As they moved deeper into the stars, Aaron noticed something strange. His ship's internal lights flickered every few minutes. He ran scans, but nothing showed wrong. Mira sat in silence, sometimes humming an old Terran war tune under her breath. At one point, she turned to him and asked, "Do you have dreams, Sergeant Vale?" He looked at her sideways. "I don't sleep long enough to dream." "Good," she said quietly, "because something in the dark listens when you dream." The next few days in space were quiet, but heavy. Aaron felt like he was carrying something unseen. Like gravity had grown stronger. His food tasted like ash. His thoughts often drifted back to Aura. Why had she smiled when she offered her mother? Why didn't she try to run? They reached the edge of the dark system. No sun here, only drifting stars in the distance. Mira stood at the window, unmoving. "We're not alone," she said, and for the first time, her voice wasn't calm. It was tense, afraid. Aaron turned to the screen. Something enormous floated in space ahead. It wasn't a ship, not really. It looked more like a structure, half-grown and half-built. Black spires rose from its sides, and it pulsed like a heart. He had never seen anything like it. "What is that?" Mira looked at him slowly. "That is the first gate," she said. "And the thing that waits behind it has been waiting for a new skin." The object ahead of them was silent, massive, and alive in a way machines shouldn't be. It floated at the edge of a dead system, where even light moved slow. Aaron didn't trust it. He had fought in too many wars to believe a quiet thing was a harmless thing. Mira stood like a statue, eyes locked on the black spires. "It's calling to her," she said, almost like a whisper to herself. Aaron frowned. "You mean Aura?" "Yes," Mira replied. "The gate doesn't want to open for us. It's waiting for her." Aaron checked the scans. Nothing showed up. No power signals, no heat, not even movement. It was like the thing didn't exist, even though it filled the entire view. "Are we going inside that?" he asked. "You'll have to," she said, "if you want to stop what's coming." Aaron clenched his jaw. "This wasn't in my orders." Mira turned her glowing blue eyes to him. "No one gave you the right orders." As they moved closer, his ship's systems began to fail. The lights dimmed, alarms blinked on. One after another, gravity shifted, then vanished, then returned. The engines sputtered like something was pulling power from them. "This isn't right," Aaron said, gripping the controls tighter. "It's pulling us in." Mira stepped forward and placed her hand on the control panel. Instantly the ship calmed, like it recognized her. The engines stabilized. The alarms went silent. Aaron blinked, surprised. "You did that?" "I've been here before," she said. "Long ago, when I was still human." The words hit him hard. "Wait, you're not human anymore?" "Not completely," she said softly. "I volunteered to become something else. To protect our kind from what this gate connects to." The black structure opened like a mouth, wide and slow, revealing a corridor of pure darkness inside. Aaron flew the ship into it, unsure if it was bravery or madness. Inside, the light disappeared completely. Even the ship's external lights failed. Only the glow from Myra's body remained, dim blue light flowing from her skin like fireflies in water. The silence inside the gate felt deep, too deep, like sound itself had been erased. Aaron couldn't hear his own breath, couldn't hear his heartbeat. He reached for his helmet, checked the systems. But they worked fine. It was the space itself that had gone mute. Then Mira spoke, and her voice echoed loudly. "This place is beyond time," she said. "It sees all futures and waits to choose one." Suddenly, the corridor ahead changed. Instead of black metal walls, it became a long hallway of red sand and bones. The ship landed on its own, softly, without command. Aaron grabbed his weapon and followed Mira as she stepped out. The ground crunched underfoot, skulls, alien and human. Old and dry, a wind moved with no source, whispering in a language he didn't know. "What is this place?" he asked. "A mirror," Mira replied. "It shows what happens if we fail." They reached a large chamber filled with floating stones that pulsed like beating hearts. At the center of the room stood a single chair, black, smooth, shaped like it had grown out of the floor. In the chair was Aura, but she wasn't Aura anymore. Her eyes were gold, her body thin like smoke, her fingers stretched longer than human hands. She was smiling, but it was the kind of smile that didn't belong to a child. "You brought her," the voice said from her mouth. But it wasn't her voice. It was deep, echoing, ancient. "Welcome, vessel Mira." Aaron raised his weapon, but Mira held out her hand. "That is not my daughter," she said. "No," the voice replied. "But she was an easy shell to wear." Aaron stepped closer. "You said it wanted a body. Is this what it chose?" "Yes," Mira said sadly. "And now we must choose to destroy it, or let it grow." Aura, the thing inside her, stood up slowly. Kill me, and she dies with me, it said. Let me live, and she becomes a queen. The chamber began to shake. The floating stones cracked. The air burned with heat and dust. Aaron felt trapped, like his mind couldn't decide what was real anymore. But Mira walked forward, her body glowing brighter. You forget who trained me, she said, her voice sharp now. You forget what I gave up to fight you the first time. Aaron watched as light flowed from Mira's skin like a wave. The creature stepped back, confused. You cannot break the bond. It hissed. Mira took one more step, now inches from the creature. I can, she said, because I am not here to save her. I am here to replace her. The light exploded, and everything went white. The light faded, slowly, like fog pulling back from a quiet battlefield. Aaron opened his eyes, coughing. Dust floated in the air, and the heat was gone. He looked around. The chamber, everything was silent again. Mira lay on the floor, unmoving. Aaron rushed to her side, kneeling down. Her body was cold, her glowing skin now dull and gray. Mira, he said, shaking her gently. No response. He checked for a pulse faint. Almost nothing, still alive. But something had changed in the center of the room. The black throne was empty. No sign of Aura, or the creature that wore her, then. Aaron heard a soft voice. I'm still here. He turned quickly. Mira's lips were moving. Her eyes opened slowly, and for a moment, he thought he saw gold instead of blue. But then it was gone. Her voice was weaker now, but steady. It didn't die, she whispered. I trapped it inside me. Aaron looked stunned. You took it into yourself? I had no choice, she said, sitting up slowly. If it escaped, it would have taken another form, maybe one even more dangerous. But now it's inside you. He said. Yes, she answered, and it's screaming. They had no time to rest. The gate began to react, its walls turning red, the air shaking with deep pulses. Aaron helped Mira to her feet. They rushed back to the ship as the gate started closing behind them. Once aboard, Aaron pushed the shuttle to full power. The engines roared as they escaped through the dark corridor. Behind them, the mouth of the gate shut like a closing eye, sealing itself. Back in open space, he turned to Mira. How long can you hold it? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she closed her eyes and breathed in deeply. It wants out, she said. It offers me power in exchange for control. That sounds like a deal no one wins. Aaron muttered. Mira gave a faint smile. I'm trained for this. I can fight it. For now, Aaron leaned back in his seat, the stars sliding past the windows. This was supposed to be a simple mission, he said. It was never simple, she replied. You were sent to pick up a target. But the truth is, the people who sent you, they already knew this might happen. Aaron sat forward, staring at her. What are you talking about? The ones who gave you your orders. They didn't tell you everything. They couldn't. Mira pointed at his wrist device. Check your classified feed. Use code name Midnight Echo. He hesitated, then tapped in the code. The device blinked, paused, then revealed a hidden log. Mission adjustment. Midnight Echo objective. Observe possible host transference event asset. Mira, formerly classified as terminated. Priority. Contain or eliminate if psychic fusion confirmed. Aaron read it twice. Cold creeping down his spine. They planned for this. They knew what Aura was. They knew what you were. Mira looked out the window, silent. They wanted a weapon, she said softly. One they didn't have to build, just guide. Just watch. Aaron stood up, pacing the small deck. They sent me in blind, he growled. And now they'll probably try to destroy us both. Mira didn't respond, but the look in her eyes said she already knew. You can't go back, she said. Not to Earth, not to your command. They'll see you as a liability. Aaron clenched his fists. What are we supposed to do now? Mira stood slowly, the dim glow returning to her skin. We do what soldiers always do, she said. We survive and we prepare. He nodded slowly. And the creature inside you? It watches, it waits, Mira whispered. But it also fears me, Aaron. Sat back down thinking. Then we keep moving, he said. And if it ever breaks out. Mira smiled faintly. You'll know what to do. As the ship moved into deep space, farther than human maps reached, the stars around them seemed quieter. But Aaron knew better. Something old had awakened, and the war hadn't even started yet. The ship drifted through deep space, its engines humming low. Aaron sat in the cockpit, staring at a blank screen. They had no destination, no backup, and no one to call for help. Every signal they sent out might be traced, and Mira warned him, if Earth Command found them, they would not come to rescue. They would come to erase. In the back of the ship, Mira sat alone, legs crossed, eyes closed. Her breathing was slow, but her body glowed again, this time brighter, flickering between blue and gold. The thing inside her was pushing harder every hour. Aaron had no idea how long she could hold it. She opened her eyes suddenly. A ship is coming, she said quietly. Aaron rushed to the console, but the screen was still blank. No signal, no radar. Hitch, are you sure? Yes, Myra said. It's cloaked, but I can feel it. Moments later, a faint shadow appeared in the far distance. It moved like a ghost. No lights, no sound. Just silent black metal sliding through the stars. Aaron's stomach tightened. Who is that? Mira's voice was grim. It's them. Aaron didn't ask who them meant. He already guessed. The ship's design wasn't human, and it wasn't alien like the Korak either. It was something in between, smooth like bone, sharp like a blade, grown, not built. The ship stopped nearby, hovering in space. Then a message appeared on the screen. No sound, just words. We know what you carry. Deliver it to US or be erased. Aaron turned to Mira. They mean you, she nodded. They don't want to destroy the creature inside me, she said. They want to use it. Aaron paced the deck, thinking fast. This was never about saving your daughter, he said. This whole thing was a trap. A test. Yes, Mira said. And now they've come to collect the result. Aaron clenched his fists. I'm not giving you to them. You might not have a choice, she said. They outgun us. Outnumber us. Outthink us. But Aaron wasn't the type to give up. He pointed to the storage bay. There's something in the back. A special warhead. Command said it was for emergencies only, untraceable, antimatter-based. Mira's eyes lit up for a second. You're thinking of using it? I'm thinking of letting them come closer, Aaron said. And then sending them to hell. They set the plan fast. Mira sat in the pilot's seat, acting calm, while Aaron moved the warhead into the drop bay. It was armed, but set to trigger only. Once it got close to the enemy vessel, the alien ship sent another message. Prepare for boarding. Surrender will be MERCI. Aaron sent no reply. He opened the external bay quietly and released the warhead. It drifted slowly toward the alien ship. Looking like harmless debris, Mira closed her eyes. They're reading me. They're confused. Good, Aaron said, watching the timer. They don't know what's coming. Then impact. The warhead struck the enemy ship's outer hull and released a silent pulse of light. For a second, space turned white again. The alien ship shook, breaking apart from the inside out. Flesh-like panels ripped away, and dark writhing creatures burst from its core. Vanishing into space like smoke, Mira cried out, gripping her head. Aaron ran to her side. What's wrong? It screamed, she whispered, trembling. It screamed into my mind. They were connected. Aaron held her shoulder. You're safe now. But Myra's eyes said otherwise. No one is safe, she said. That wasn't the only ship. That was just the first. Aaron turned slowly back to the screen. 1, 2, 3 more dots appeared on radar. Then more, dozens more, blinking into view around them. The whole sky began to fill with ships, black, silent, patient. We didn't stop them, Mira said. We woke them up. Aaron's voice was steady, but tight. Then we find somewhere to stand, and we fight. Asterisk. The stars were no longer stars. They were eyes. Hundreds of dark ships surrounded Aaron's small vessel, silent, Unmoving, but watching, inside the ship, Mira sat still, her glow dim, her face pale. She had trapped the creature inside her, but it was growing stronger. Each alien ship nearby was linked to it, part of its hive. Its network, the more they gathered, the louder it became inside her mind. Aaron stood beside her, weapon ready. But he knew bullets would not help this time. He looked at her. "How much time do we have?" Mira shook her head. "Not much, it's speaking through me now. Offering things, promises. It knows I'm getting weaker." Aaron wanted to say something strong, something comforting, but he didn't lie to people he cared about. "You've done more than anyone could ask," he said quietly. Mira looked at him and gave a sad smile. "I don't want it to win. I won't let it." Then she stood up slowly. "I have one final option." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "What do you mean?" "A full psychic burst. A clean detonation from inside my mind. It'll burn me. And the thing inside, you'll die," he said. "Yes," she replied calmly. "But so will they." Aaron stepped closer, voice firm now. "There must be another way." "No," Myra said softly. "I've seen the future if I don't do this. Humanity won't survive, not with that thing free." He clenched his fists, heart heavy. "You don't have to do this alone. You can't help me in this," she said. "But you can help me finish it. There's one place strong enough to hold the blast." She pointed to the planet below, a dark, dead world. The alien fleet circled like vultures. Aaron looked at the readout. No life, no air, no cities, just ash and old bones. "A prison world," she said, "built long ago by something older than us. The psychic walls still stand. If I go down there, the blast won't spread to your mind or others." Aaron swallowed hard. "You're serious?" She stepped forward and touched his chest. "You're the first human I trusted in a long time." He looked into her eyes. "You deserve peace," she nodded. "And now I'll take it. On my terms." Aaron flew the ship into the planet's atmosphere. The sky was filled with storms, red lightning cutting across the black clouds. They landed on a cracked plateau surrounded by towering alien ruins. Mira stepped out alone, her feet silent on the stone. Aaron followed her to the center of the platform. She turned to him. "When it ends, you'll feel it in your bones." He said nothing, just gave her a sharp soldier's nod. She stepped forward, stood still, and closed her eyes. The wind stopped, the clouds parted, the air turned electric. Then came the scream, not from her mouth, but from the air itself. The sound of something ancient being torn apart from the inside. The sky exploded with light gold, white, and then blue. Aaron dropped to his knees as the shockwave rolled across the land. The alien ships above flickered, some cracked open, others turned to dust. One by one, they vanished, pulled into themselves, or shattered completely. The link had been broken. The voice was gone. Silence returned. Aaron stood up slowly. The stone platform was cracked, burned. Mira was gone. No body left, only ash and soft blue sparks floating into the air. He stood there for a long time, not moving, not speaking. Then he whispered, "Thank you, later." He returned to space alone. No one followed, no one hunted. The skies were empty once again. He didn't go back to Earth. He vanished into the dark systems. Sometimes, people said they saw a lone human ship appear near dead worlds. Sometimes, they said the stars flickered blue around it. Just for a second, Aaron Vale became the story. A whisper, a warning that something had come. And it was stopped by one woman, trained, powerful, and hers alone to carry.